Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Sales Unscripted podcast. I am one of your hosts, Margaret Henney.
I'm the other host, Brian Neal. Do I have to do my fingers
doing
like
hand
you?
motions.
If you're not watching
Hand
on the video,
motions.
yeah, Margaret's theatrical jazz hands
Well,
make an appearance every once in a while.
I can't help
It's a
myself.
theater
This is why I do video, both for the podcast and in my life at work at Co-Video.
That's a good thing. It's your thing for sure. You're so good at video, but when you do the videos for Co-Video, they're
think so?
fire. Oh my god,
Aw,
so good.
thanks. That's
They're
really nice of you to
They're really,
say.
they always have it. I'm like,
Thanks.
the very first time I saw, I'm like, damn, this girl's good. I didn't even know you.
I love
Salesperson.
it. Gosh,
Do you
that's
ever
such a great
miss
compliment.
the theater thing?
Oh, totally.
Dude, why don't you go do it?
I don't know. I
But
think
you
I
do
would be,
know. Why don't you?
I would be nervous. I would be nervous again.
Well, when were you not nervous on stage?
No, you're right.
It's like
I was
I'm nervous when I go to a
always
football
nervous.
game. Right?
I know. I'd have to get my swag back. It's been so long since I've been on stage.
You should do that.
I should.
I think it'd be good for your soul.
Community theater.
100%.
It would
Any
be so
you would
good.
love it. I think you would love it.
No, you're right. I don't know. Have you ever done community theater?
No. I took acting class though.
I know
Did we talk
you
about this?
did. Yeah, and you
T120.
loved it.
I loved it. Yeah, improv's my thing. I would go do an improv class with you.
Oh, that would be fun, actually.
Yeah, improv I would do.
Let's do that. We'll bring Nick.
Yeah, we'll
He
go.
can get some
we'll
video
go
of
to
us
the
doing
dentist,
it.
and then we'll go to Taco Bell, and then.
Great
And then
callback
we'll
from
go
last episode.
last episode we talked about. That's a good trade-off, though. Me going to the dentist and you going to Taco Bell.
That's a good. Okay.
It's a very good trade-off.
Fine. I'll do
So
it.
you travel
I'll
a
do it.
bunch. Here's something I want to ask you.
Yes.
When you travel,
Yes.
and I travel for football basically every weekend,
Right.
where do you park at the airport?
This is such
this can
a
be
good question.
I know, because it can be a generic thing. Like no
No.
matter where you live in the world,
No, this is so funny.
where do you park? I want to hear, and I want you to, and I'll tell you what I do.
Okay, well,
the
I've
parking.
got-
and then
I've
we'll
got-
get to our topic, which is an audience, live studio
Yes.
audience. We're going to talk about doing the common things uncommonly well. Good.
Yes.
Thank you, Chip Walker, for that.
Thank you, Chip.
Yep.
Okay, I've got two answers
Go.
for you for
Ready.
what I do now and what
Yeah.
I used to do when I
Yes.
was like a kid. Now, I always take an Uber.
Oh, do you really?
Don't drive, don't park. I'm not dealing with it. I'm 20 minutes from the airport
Yeah, right.
where my house is.
Yeah.
And it is such a luxury. Like, I love it. I love it. Now, when I was growing up with Fred Henney, you better believe we weren't going to be doing anything like that, especially coming from Monticello. So we would drive down at the butt crack of dawn.
Yes.
Because we're not going to sleep anywhere overnight, God forbid. And you would park out in the economy lot and you take the Tiger bus and you got to schlep all your bullshit, sometimes skis.
Oh,
Because we're
God.
going to, Utah or Colorado or whatever to ski. You got to carry all this BS with you. And I was like, there has to be a better way.
There is a better way.
Tell me.
Let me tell you what
The
it is.
better way.
So two things. So of course you get a little older. Either one, you value your time more. Two, you got a couple nickels to rub together. Either way.
Yeah.
So I always park in the garage as close to the front as I possibly can,
I
which
love
is
it.
3 times as much as it is to park out. But I value my
Totally.
time too much, so I
I
get
know.
on.
Well,
But
and you're
I have
bougie.
I
You're
have
a little
been
bougie.
a little bit travel bougie.
Yeah.
I've been practicing a little hack that has been destroyed at the Indianapolis International Airport, and that is that there's a short-term parking that has its own separate gate that's inside the garage.
Okay.
But what I realized when you go through the gate, a new ticket doesn't spit out.
Okay.
You just go through it. So people don't go through there because they think they're going to get an extra, a ticket. You know what I mean? The little ticket pay, the arm
Yeah.
goes up and you go. There isn't one of those. So I would just go through it. I just park right up front.
No.
I did that for about 7 years straight. Always up because they never towed you or anything. Well, they just closed that section and made it the valet.
Ooh.
So now I have to actually find a spot like all the rest of the humans
You
on
got
the earth.
found out.
I did. It's really painful. And there's
Welcome.
several people that I know that travel for work that know
they did
this
the same
hack.
thing?
I told them about it. We've been doing it for years. So
Shoot.
funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
so
Now
I don't
you're
do
down here with
Uber
the
because I just
peons.
like to get home as fast as I can because I get home late on Sundays and
and
I just want to go
sometimes
right to
they're
my
not
car
always-
and go. Yeah, and then the guy's driving too slow and all that. It's just not what he does. They do. Now, here's the other thing.
Tell me.
Take a guess. What I only use one type of Uber.
Uber X.
No, I'd never get an
know.
Uber X. Black
Uber-
SUV. I would never get an Uber X.
What
that's
kind of Uber do you get?
that's a minivan. Uber at black SUV. I won't go in anything but a black SUV.
See,
Swear to God.
You know how I just called you bougie?
Swear to God, yeah.
I'm doubling down on my bougie
That's okay.
comment.
I'll own it. I'll go anywhere, anytime with you, and I will show you why I do black
I'm
SUV
out here
all
taking
the
2000
time. They're awful. They smell like
Camrys.
smoke. They smell like Taco Bell in the back. Awful music. The guy's got his seat cranked back, sitting on your lap in the back. I'm
It's
like, no
not
thanks.
cool.
Give me a really big SUV. I'll
I
pay the extra
know.
money.
I
And I've never
know.
gone through an audit and say, well, I could have saved $200 this year. Sorry.
All right.
That's where I'm traveling a lot. It's
I
part
know.
of the
You
deal.
do. You travel a lot, so it makes sense.
That's what it is. I just want to be
give it to you.
comfortable, and I don't want to deal with a bunch of
fine.
bullshit.
It's fine.
That's
It's
all.
fine.
Okay, I love this topic.
Yeah.
So we have
Common
Chip
things
and
uncommonly
Nikki
well.
from they're starting their own podcast, maybe, so they came to watch us today. They're friends of ours, friends of yours from the auto business.
Yeah, exactly. We met at NADA earlier
which is
this
what?
year.
Tell the listeners what that is.
You know what? This is funny. National Auto Dealers Association. Or is it National
I
American?
thought it was North American Dealers
North American.
Association.
See,
No,
that's
we don't
the
even
thing.
know. Chip says he doesn't know.
Is-
Chip
I-
makes a living going to this thing. It doesn't matter.
No,
NADA.
you're exactly right. It is. It's North American because the first time I
think it
read,
is.
I
It's
did
weird.
that,
I
was
know
like,
it doesn't seem like it.
uh-oh. Yeah.
So both in the auto business, which is really fun. They're thinking about starting the podcast, so they're in watching us today. And so Chip gave us an awesome topic, which is how to do the how do I say it?
Common
things
uncommonly
well. It's really, really great topic. So
Which I
love
love
this.
because you know what's funny is
What?
a lot about doing sales is I was going to use the word, it's not boring, but it is doing the same things over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes people are like, I want that extra little, what's the secret weapon? What's the, whatever. And I'm like, there's no secret. Like you just work hard and you are consistent in what you do. And those are the people that are most successful. Almost always.
Almost always.
Yeah.
I may have mentioned it on this podcast. Do you know who Nick Saban is?
Yeah, of course.
He's a football coach.
Yeah. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Yeah, he's not there anymore. He retired.
Oh, that's right.
He's on ESPN now.
That's
Yeah,
right.
good.
Okay.
But anyway, you're right. Roll Tide, Alabama. But he has this phrase that I use a lot in my coaching. I heard where he says, "Most people practice things till they get it right."
Yes.
He said, "We practice things till we can't get it wrong."
And
that's that phrase I just love, which speaks to this thing. Is he's doing these very fundamental things, and I'm telling you,
Totally.
people ask me the difference between college football and the NFL. That's the difference.
Yeah.
They do these very common things uncommonly well. They're so precise and so deliberate, so consistent, and so predictable with all of it. It's just fantastic. I love it. So let's go through some of those things.
Yeah.
Did you think of a couple?
I do
things?
have
You
a
wanna
couple
go
of
first?
them.
I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Okay. So one of the things that I would say, this is a misnomer. I think sometimes people think that people who are really great at talking should be in sales. They're like, oh my gosh, you're such a great talker. You're so engaging, blah, blah, blah. That actually does not make a great salesperson. What do you think I'm going to say?
Listening.
Being a great listener. Being a great listener makes you really great at sales. And that is not something that everybody is really practiced at doing. And I think we might actually talked about this a little bit last time. So holding yourself accountable to listening, which can be difficult. I'm like rolling, I'm always on to the next thing. So I try to repeat what someone says to me back to them to make sure that I'm doing active listening. And that helps me and them know that I'm paying attention.
That's interesting.
So.
Isn't it funny when people start to talk about listening? Whoever you're in the conversation with feels guilty talking then. I feel guilty, even though it's a podcast. It'd be extremely boring if we just fucking sat here and listened to each other the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a thing, though, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Here's my little trick for that. It's a really good one, by the way.
Yeah, tell me.
I try to think about what the person is saying. I try to think, what do they mean? If you just stay there, you're trying to. It might be obvious to you, but if you go, what do they mean? Or then you go another step deeper. You go, what do they really mean?
Yeah.
There's something there, or what else is there that I'm hearing that slows your brain down and your response down?
Totally. You took the words out of my mouth when you said what I'm hearing. And that's great to repeat it back because you might say it in the exact same words, but what does that actually mean? What are they trying to get across to you? So I think being an uncommonly good listener is absolutely invaluable for sales.
I love it. So I hate when I say cliche things, but this is cliche.
But they're cliche for a reason.
I know. So I'm going to go cliche on you, but this is just the truth, and we observe it. We have tools to make it better. Is be uncommonly good at follow up and follow through.
Oh my God, that's
and just
so
very
true.
simply doing what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
And salespeople are notoriously awful at this.
It's
if you're listening to this, I've been bad at it
me too.
before, right?
I'll raise
so
my hand.
you have to create mechanisms. Here's the thing, though. Some people know they're bad at it, and they just go, I'm just bad at it. That's how God made me.
Yeah.
If that's the case, that's fine. But you can put mechanisms around you that help you not be bad at it, which is what I've done. So I've got a person that helps me with my calendar. I have sales tools that I use to set calendar dates. I have productivity pods to help me get stuff done. So but most people just sit there and just accept that that's how they are.
Yeah,
or
totally.
they defend themselves for it.
Yeah, and
I'm
good at this.
I don't want to be too aggressive with him, so I don't want to call him too soon. So I gave him, 7 months before I called him back. I'm like, well,
7 months.
Yeah, seriously though. But you have this. I have this, and my clients will say, they're like, well, I didn't want to be too pushy. I'm like, when'd you email them last? February 2nd.
I think you're
Groundhog's
good.
Day? Like, what are we doing here?
I think you're good, bud.
So everything related to follow through. And here's the deal.
Yeah.
We're not talking about being perfect. I'm not someone that says you have to be perfect. And if you're going to miss, just say you miss, but follow through on the miss.
Yeah.
To say, hey, it was on me to get this document to you. I forgot to. I didn't. I got busy. Whatever happened, tell them the truth. I gave a guy the other night, we went to Drake's. Have you ever been to Drake's?
Oh, yeah.
I love Drake's.
Yeah, it's
Drake's
been a minute,
is kind of like it's like a secret. It's a concept that you think would never work.
Yeah.
It's like bar food, bourbon, and sushi.
Yeah.
All in one. Yeah, seriously.
People
like
outside of Indiana are like, that sounds
well, there's
insane.
some other. It's a little chain. It's based in Louisville, actually.
Oh,
anyway,
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, a little chain. But this guy took my kids there. So 3 of my 5 kids went there, got a meal, whatever. And he forgot something that I ordered. So we got all the food, came right on time, did everything. Dinner, like anything else? He said, well, I also ordered these like pot sticker things.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, I'll go check on those. So this woman who delivered the food left. The guy came back. He goes, hey, pot stickers are coming up. That was on me. I forgot to put it in.
Oh, I love that
That's
guy.
all he had to say.
Yeah.
I gave the guy like a 40% tip.
Yeah.
And I wrote a note. I said, thanks for taking accountability. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So if you are bad at follow through or forget to follow through, do not bullshit your way with the customer. Yeah. Just say, I totally spaced sending you the document. I will have it to you by Friday at 2.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you got now the second time, make sure you do it. If you do it 3 times, that's a problem.
We got a problem. Yeah.
But so many salespeople want to bullshit their way out of it. Like, well, no, sorry, I was still waiting on some information, which is a total lie. You're lying. Don't do that. Just own your stuff. If that's what happens, happens.
I'm going to add to this, and this is something that's a little bit of like a combo between what we both said. So mine was listening, yours was follow-up.
Yeah.
I think people, this was great for me getting right when I was in sales, and I found that my prospects and my customers loved it too, is sending uncommonly good emails right after the meeting
that's nice.
to recap what you did, because everything is fresh then.
Yeah, totally.
And you just lay it out, and one of the best ways, of course, that I do this is with a video. So I like record a quick co-video. I'll recap. I'll be like, and then even during the call, I'll be like, hey, don't worry about taking a whole bunch of notes during this. I'm writing everything down. I'm going to send you a video afterwards to recap everything that we just talked about. I know.
That's a good little thing to do, even that's uncommon and uncommonly good.
Yeah,
don't worry about taking a bunch of notes. I'll recap this and put it in a video back to you.
Yes. Well, because I want them to be active and present with me. And, they're down here, writing things down. And I'm like, hey, I see writing things down. I really appreciate it. If you want to, you can. But I'm actually taking notes for us. And I'm going to send this to you afterwards. You don't have to worry about it.
Cool.
And they can be totally present with me.
And I love the video. You tell them you're going to send a video. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another thing that I think it behooves you to be uncommonly good at. And that is asking really, really good, objective questions, not leading questions, but sincere. Like I'm trying to vet out if and how I can be helpful to someone if they're ready to take on a project or do it, buy my software, whatever your thing is.
Yep.
And this is funny because this, so we have a tool called the question bank. You do spend all these couple hours. It's awesome, isn't it?
Love
but you know the problem?
bank.
It's obsolete now. Do you know why? No, what technology tool made the question bank obsolete?
AI.
So you go to ChatGPT and you literally tell ChatGPT what it is. So let's say you're going to call in the GM of an 8-store dealer group. You say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to talk to the general manager of one of the stores of an 8-store dealer group, a family-owned, third-generation car dealer in Wisconsin and Illinois. I'm looking for some strategic questions to ask them to see if he might be open to video or using video in marketing and selling. Can you please give me some questions?
Wow.
Whoosh,
That's
hit enter. There's fucking 50 questions spit out 2 seconds.
That's nice.
So if you sit there and say to me like, well, I'm not really curious. I'm not like baloney, man.
Yeah.
ChatGPT will do that for you, which makes that tool obsolete, which I'm very proud of because it proof points a thing that you need to be really, really uncommonly good at asking questions.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on that one.
That's so true. That's great.
That's all I have to say about that.
I know. I was like, I was sitting here listening to you, not thinking about other things to say.
That's my Forrest Gump. Isn't that Forrest Gump? That's all I have to say about that?
Yeah. At the end of the little speech, he goes, that's all I have to say about that. That's my Forrest Gump impression. It's not good.
That was one of the. You think when they were filming Forrest Gump, some of them, like the cameraman sitting there with his buddy and going, what the fuck are we doing here? This is the stupidest fucking movie I've ever seen.
You don't actually think that, do you?
Like, oh, it's the greatest movie ever.
Oh, okay.
But when you think about the concept and you're filming it, you're like, oh my God.
You're like, this is not going to land.
No.
I know,
It's just brilliant.
So good.
Anyway, do you have another one something to become
uncommonly good at? Hang
It's
on, let me think about this for just a second. Okay, we talked about listening. We talked about follow-up.
Our studio audience has one.
Oh yeah,
we have the mics to say, and we'll repeat it.
5 handwritten notes a week.
5 handwritten notes a week.
Dang.
Who does that?
I'd call that
Nobody.
uncommon, which is unbelievable. Like, that's great.
You know what else is great about that?
Huh.
So Steph used to, my wife, Steph, who runs Blind Zebra, for 10 or 11 years, speaking of the auto business, made a living selling junk mail to auto dealers.
Yeah.
And these junk mail pieces would go to none of us are in the demographic for this.
We don't call it junk mail. We call it bulk mail.
Oh, is it bulk? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, bro. Anyway, I'm sure the listeners all call it junk mail.
No, I do too.
But here's the thing. Now, email comes along and then the regulations. So you know what? Nobody gets any mail anymore.
Yeah.
The volume of mail has shrunk.
Oh my God.
And what you do get is junk mail.
Yeah, totally.
So when you
And
get
bills.
a clear handwritten note,
Yeah.
it totally jumps out of the mailbox, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
for
so
you?
true. That's
That
a
is
great
just
call. I love that.
fantastic.
And
And
it's so funny because that is like, it's a common thing that you
I know.
used to think. I mean, you would write, did your parents make you write thank you notes?
No, I have a thing about this.
Oh,
No, I told you my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, no one was paying attention, man. No one was like,
they're like, he's good.
Seriously.
He's good. He's going to
They're
make
like,
it.
oh shit, what is it? It's December 12th. Why is that oh shit? Because yesterday was Brian's birthday. Oh shit, we missed it.
Damn
It's like,
it.
not that bad, but you know.
You didn't. I had to write
I know.
handwritten thank you notes,
No.
like for every present, anyone who came to a birthday or a party or
Yeah.
did, whatever, like you had to sit down and write those handwritten notes. And I hated it, but it was a really great practice.
Yeah, I hate that I didn't learn that skill and it's not natural to me. The other thing
Yeah.
on the other side of it, I don't expect notes.
Yeah.
Some people expect a thank you note. I
Yeah.
don't expect that, so then I don't. What I love doing though, that's a little different than that, is I love doing a little thank you personalized video for people.
Yeah, me too.
Because then you look, not even through co-video, through my
Yeah.
not the
Oh,
co-video.
smart.
I'm talking about just on my smartphone.
On your
just,
phone.
Yeah.
That's
just like, hey
great.
Margaret, what's up? I just want to say how much I appreciate it. You coming to the thing? Da, 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 da.
You sent me on a
did.
video on my birthday.
I did.
That was very nice.
Did I on your wedding too?
Yes,
I feel like
you
I
did.
sent you one for your wedding.
Yes,
So that's
I
what
know,
I
and it
do
was
instead of
so
thank you
sweet.
notes.
I was like, that
Just
is
because it's
really,
very
really thoughtful.
It's personal and you can see.
Yeah.
And my handwriting is shit.
Mine is
So
too.
it's
Mine
awful.
is
It's
too.
like it's a small drawback. Like, well, you got all A's, but you got a D in fine motor skills.
You're
you
like,
can't-
come
I'm sorry, I
on,
can't do
computer,
it."
can't come fast enough.
Oh, I was so bad at that stuff.
Ugh. At typing
My
or just
mom,
handwriting?
well, I was bad. I've changed a lot, but at the time, my dad was a bit of a chauvinist, so he taught me to be that way. So my mom
So
was
he's like,
making me
you don't need to
making me
type.
tape typing. My mom and I'm like, I'm not taking typing. She's like, why?
Shame.
I said this. I go, because I'm gonna have a secretary, which she was one. She goes, everything but hit me in the face.
I was like, oh,
as she should have.
good for
as
her.
she should have. She goes, young man, A, you will never talk about that way again, and B, your ass is taking typing. Period. Case closed. She
love
was
your
right, and
mother.
she was right.
She was right. Yay,
and that's
moms
great. And
normally
after
are.
the fact, then that puts you on a path like,
Yep.
maybe I want to think differently about this.
Yeah.
So,
That's what's
it's like therapy day. I'm like coming clean on all this stuff.
I
right?
love it. I love it.
So that's a great topic. Like, ask yourself, what things should I do uncommonly well that no one, because these days those little things can make all the difference in just making
Totally.
you stand out and
Well, and I think a great way to, if you can't think of any, one, use some of the ones that we just did, but think about people that you work with or that are customers or whatever that do something that really stands out to you.
that's good.
That's what I was actually thinking about Dustin, who I work with, who sends some of the best follow-up emails. I'm like, bro, this is too much.
Right.
It's too much. But people love it.
love
He
them.
doesn't miss a single detail, and
Yeah.
it's brilliant. It really, really pays off. So think about things that you admire about other people
that's good.
too, and that will help inspire maybe some things that you're like, I admire that because I wish I did that as well. And then
that's
you can
great.
start.
And he's your number one sales guy.
He is our number one
How
sales
many quarters
guy.
in a row?
Oh,
Like
God.
80 quarters in a row?
I have for so many years. He's been with Covidio for like 15 years
No
or
one
something.
touches him.
Yeah.
His volume.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
He's a monster.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, studio audience. Thanks for
Yeah.
being here.
Thanks for the topic, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic. Now you're world famous, Chip.
We
World
need an
famous.
applause
this-
sign.
We really do. Yeah. So, okay, that's it. We'll see you in the middle of Q4.
Get ready.
Ish, right?
Yep.
Getting there, getting close. So
Here we
that's
go.
it. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.